Well, Coach Vann Stuedeman's weekly media availability the week of February 17th, 2025. On camera left, we have senior utility player Jalen Pritchard, and on camera right, we have sophomore pitcher Meredith Schmidt. Roadrunners went 2-3 at the Lion Classic. They'll look to bounce back, heading to Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Tuesday before hosting the Roadrunner Classic, a tournament featuring Akron, Michigan State, Omaha, St. Thomas, and Sam Houston this weekend at Roadrunner Field. Coach, if you could start us off with an opening statement, then we'll open it up to questions using the raise hand function.
Good afternoon, or good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Appreciate you all being here with us. A little bit of a disappointing weekend. I think on Friday we really came out and played some poor softball, just kind of all around. We weren't finishing plays. We were thrown off a little bit by a couple of miscues by maybe some officiating, and then we got stopped by that. A little bit of got some curveballs thrown at us, and we didn't really know how to handle them, which is really good to, have that this early in the season so that we know how to move forward through that, but we didn't handle them well on Friday. I don't think it was our best softball by any means. Saturday, we responded pretty well with a gutsy, gritty win against South Dakota to come back, and we were losing the game 2-0 the whole game, and we're able to grit out a 3-2 win there in the late innings. I think we were all a little bit disappointed. I think there's some learning opportunities there, and I think this team is receptive to that.
Sean?
Coach, what did you see in terms of the resilience from your team? You lose to South Dakota on Friday in a tough game, and then you're able to come back and beat them on Saturday.
Well, I think it is a testament to the grit of the team and the willingness to fight for something. I do think we still have some missed opportunities there that we've got to learn how to capitalize on. But even the first weekend, I think 4 of the 5 wins were come from behind, and then that win on Saturday morning was come from behind. So we're starting to see a little bit of resilience, which is something that we've talked about, and to impose your will on the game. We're seeing those players that are able to do that and trying to step up and do that for us. So I think it is a very good step in the right direction in that mindset of let's don't give anything away. Let's don't let anybody take something from us, umpires, other opponent, whatever that might be. Just let's stick to what we do well and fight hard. And that showed on Saturday. Just Cam had a timely hit, had a leadoff single up the middle. The girl throws about 70% changeups, and kudos to her. I think she's pitched like 80% of their innings, and she did a great job. And we were struggling, and Cam got in there and led off that inning. I think it was the fifth or sixth inning when we scored, and was able to just cut down her swing, hit it up the middle, and Jalen came up with a big RBI there I think it was it 2 RBIs? 2 RBIs there to tie it up, and then we were able to go ahead. So the grit there is there. It's there. We got to keep I guess massaging it and keep polishing it and keep fighting.
Haley? Haley, you can go ahead.
Is that for me? Sorry, I couldn't really hear. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and ask my question. Ladies, and I would love if all 3 of you could answer this, but, despite the tough road battles you guys had, I want to know what you kind of all gained perspective-wise from these losses.
I think we gained that we can come back with a win because the first day was rough, but then we came from behind the next day. So I think we learned that we have fight in us. We just have to find it earlier and find it when we get off the plane on a travel weekend rather than waiting a day and turning it on.
I think it starts with practice during the week, but I do like that our team is young and already fighting this early in the season. I feel like we kind of struggled with fight last year. We would score in the first and then kind of die out. So this year being able to still, people are still caring and wanting to fight and wanting to win and just wanting more. So that's really good, especially being a senior, knowing my team wanting to win and pushing that for us is pretty nice.
And I would just say, I'd reiterate what Jalen said about the, midweek practice. Success doesn't show up on the day of the game. It does on the scoreboard sometimes, but to get that scoreboard to fall in your way, you have to put in the work day in and day out. And, success is, wins are liars. And you get a little false confidence and maybe your reps aren't as intentional as they should be. And I think when you haven't had success over time or wins over time, you don't really know how to handle that and what that means. And what got you the win in the first place was intentional reps and intentional communication and a desire and a hunger to be the best at your craft. And sometimes you get that, it's an illusion. You get the W on the board and you take a little bit off. And we as a coaching staff noticed that in practice last week and mentioned it before the weekend. So it's something that we're aware of and the girls are aware of and have brought it up more than once. So hopefully we'll see a shift in that. Maybe, winning 5-0 one weekend and 2-3 the next, and understanding the relationship between intentional reps and intentional practice, and what winning looks like. Really Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before we even get on the in the actual competition on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've talked about obviously a little bit of the struggle on defense and what went well on offense. Can you talk about my favorite piece? What looked good? What do you want improvement on in the circle going into this next weekend?
Well, I'll say Schmidt, we call her Murph. So Murph, she had a great weekend, and the biggest thing for Murph for me this weekend was she had an opportunity in the last game, and she had a kid battling her on a drop, and the girl was really telling her plan by what she was swinging at and what she wasn't swinging at, and it was when she came back in the dugout, I said, okay, let's walk through this at bat from this girl, this hitter, and what was she swinging at? Where can we throw it so she misses it? Or where else can we throw it where she takes it and it's a strike? And it's just so much learning, and I hope she felt that way as well. But she's throwing 3 speeds, and I challenged her over the break. Let's get 18 spots with the 3 speeds of the same pitch, and it's basically can you do that under duress? And she sent me a video over Christmas. Her dad had built her this we call them the strings, basically a grid of 18 spots. And I said that, oh my God, of course the pitching coach and me, I'm sure Kat's like, yes, she sent that to me over Christmas. I was like, that's the best Christmas present you could ever give me. And then I saw her dad this weekend. I was like, that's the best Christmas present you could ever give me. And she really bought into it, and she did intentional reps, and she's been a really good role model for the rest of the group. The whole staff is very young. I mean, we have Kat Reyes, who's a junior, but and Maddie Collins is a junior, but Maddie hasn't had any experience yet until this year, so she's really a freshman on the field. And Reyes is a newcomer to Division I. So she's the only one that's really had a year under me, and we can be silly in the bullpen sometimes, and you look over and Murph is like just locked in and intentional, and she's really setting a great standard for the bullpen, and I think as time goes on, you'll see that come about from others. Maddie Collins is doing it some, and it'll be fun when the freshmen start to emulate Murph and that locked in intentional bullpen. I think right now it's trying to figure out and Murph is probably in that spot where let's try to figure out what the hitter's doing. Some of the kids are still just let's make sure our pitches are moving. Spin over spot. I say that a million times. Just get your spin off. So trying to learn, for me, who can go in after the other one, who can handle going in the middle of the game and throw a strike. We've had a little bit of when I put somebody in, the first pitch is 82% of a ball. So we're working on maybe maturity in the circle in the game. We have a lot of growth there. But I'm excited and encouraged. We had another good outing from Kat on Sunday. She threw 4 good innings for us, and Murph came in after her and did a good job. We just couldn't really do much on the offensive side. So I like where we are. Kaylee Olivares got out there and had a great outing against Valley, and just can we get a little bit of confidence here, a little bit of confidence there. I like where we're going. And we're young. It's a young part of the year. So it's exciting to learn about each other. But we've got a ton more to learn, and a ton more to do.
John?
Murph, your coach talked about you quite a bit, and you didn't see a ton of action last year, but you've been so incredibly effective this year. What have you seen from yourself in terms of your development from the end of last year to now?
I think this year I really switched my mindset, and I turned being nervous or fear out there to just being motivated and excited to do the right thing for my team. And when I'm out there, I just think it's easy to feel confident, because that's a big thing in pitching. Whenever I have 8 girls behind me and in front of me working for me, and the dugout, I feel the love from the dugout. And then this weekend I felt the love from my family in the stands. It's easy to feel confident out there whenever I have all those around 30 people rooting for me. And I think it was just a big mindset switch for me, and just knowing that I've put in the work in the off season and in the fall. So whenever I'm out there and I get a pitch, I like to tell myself, you've been here, you can do it. And even if I've not actually been there, it's a lot just telling myself I have. And I think just getting more experience every weekend and trusting the pitch call and trusting my catcher every single pitch, it's helped me really believe in myself and believe in my team, and know that everyone around me believes in me.
And Jalen,
such a proud Sean, I'll let you go in a second. Vann, you've got such a proud look on your face hearing her say all that. What do those words mean to you?
Well, when somebody's talking about a mindset, you're, as a coach, you're trying to teach that, but that is something that they have to do themselves. I mean, all of it is really, but you're putting it out on the, out there for them, and you can't make them drink it. It's that old saying. And to hear her, early in the fall, I asked her about it. She pitched in the summer for the Texas league, and that said a lot to me, that she wants to be the right one. She wants to be good. So I asked her about it in the fall, and she's like, I just really wanted to work on how could I, endear myself to my teammates? How could I make them proud of me? How could I? And she knew that was hard work. And then, everybody wants to throw 800 pitches. I mean, everybody wants to throw the curve, the rise, the screw, but she has something that she's good at, and I talked about it a lot last year. Let's master what you are so good at naturally, and then we'll move on to some other things. And I guess I'm just proud that she's bought into that and it's working for her and us. Sometimes you give advice and it doesn't always work, and then you feel as a coach very responsible and you need to readjust, and that's part of coaching. But to hear her say that she's buying in and trusts her teammates, I mean, we have some really good tools. Kaylee Rochinski's doing a great job behind the plate and makes it okay for us to throw drop balls in the dirt and, use those 18 spots. And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of the work she's done and the work that she's going to continue to do and the model she's setting for the rest of the bullpen.
John, you can go ahead.
Jalen, everybody's really bought into the Pluckham mindset, but you've taken it a step further. You wear it on your sleeve. What does it mean to you, and why is it important that you have it as part of your game day fit?
First of all, my mom is just really drippy when it comes to stuff like that, but I really like it because I'm a really gritty player. I feel like I don't like to lose, so having that on my arm and then having the other team ask me about it, it's just funny when I'm standing on second and they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Well, the ball to the fence, that's what it means. I just plucked your team." So I really like it, and it's just a funny thing, but taking it in, knowing that I grew up being told just be gritty. So then coming to UTSA and then Vann putting that on me and making it a brand, I really liked it, and I like to flex it.
And she can flex it too. She is the definition of Pluckham. She is gritty.
And I don't know if y'all see me during my at-bats, I get a little spicy, but being humble in your thoughts really help that, but being able to flex that when you can, it's really nice.
She's a good mix.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, I have two questions. I'm going to back up to Murph for just a second. Playing in the summer league in Texas, what do you think you gained, and what did you gain and learn with that experience? Obviously, not having a ton of innings last season.
Yeah. In the summer league, I played every day for 6 weeks, and it was 7-inning games against some really good hitters. So I guess there was no pressure. I was going to play every day. I was going to play the same people. I had the same team. I was just out there kind of playing softball and enjoying it and having fun, but also learning what pitches I can throw and what counts, because I didn't get to really do that last year. Last year I'd go in and put too much pressure on myself. So in the summer, I'd go out there and learn what I can do, where I can put my off speed or where I can bait a batter, and doing that every day for 6 weeks in the summer, and knowing if I make a mistake or I throw the wrong pitch, I'm going to be able to wake up and do it the next day. It was really helpful. And going into the fall, knowing I had those 6 weeks of playing, really gave me a lot of confidence. And I learned a lot about my pitching and that using my drop ball in a bunch of locations can actually work. And I got a lot of faith in what Vann was telling me and what everyone has told me my whole life.
And then my second question, Jalen, to you. We didn't get to really talk to you a whole lot last year. Can you talk about your decision to transfer home to Texas? Why UTSA and the legacy you're trying to leave behind?
Yes, I decided to transfer to UTSA because one of my old hitting coaches I really trusted, really invested into Vann, and she reached out to me, and everything she said about Vann was what I wanted. And being able to do that and bring that here, coming home, I'm a really big family person, so being able for my family to come see me play Illinois, I was really grateful for it. I got to experience the high level of play, going to a regional, and being able, Vann wanting that here and being able to transfer that here, and her on the phone call asking me to come and be a leader, really stood out to me. And I feel like I invested that role in being a leader. I may not be very vocal, but I lead by my actions, and Vann trusts me with that. So I'm glad that she sees that in me, and being able just to play under UTSA. I mean, I also look good in orange, so.
Not many people
Can I sneak one more?
Not many
Can I
people
sneak one
put
more
out the
question in?
orange.
No. Jalen, can you talk about the evolution or the growth of Murph a little bit?
Yes, so I am blessed to know Murph since she was like 14. I played with Murph. My dad was her coach, and I really enjoyed her. Murph has been a competitor since she was 14 years old. Like, I think I was a junior, and Murph was picking up with us and my dad, she was the first name put on the lineup every single time. He was like, well, none of y'all can hit, but Murph's going to strike everybody out. So I remember one play, like, I don't know if Murph remembers this, but we were playing against some really high-level team, and it was the very first pitch of the at-bat, and the hitter hit Murph right in the chest. Murph gets up, throws it to first, and was like, yup. So, like, I just being able to, knowing that about Murph, and I had an experience this weekend where one of the freshmen in the outfield was like, wow, like, Murph is really good. And I was like, no, Murph is a competitor. So being able to play with that and knowing Murph has had that in her since she was 14 is really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, if no one else has any questions, thanks everyone for coming. See you next time.
Birds up.
Thank you.